Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. It's Rasheda here, and I'm about to react to another video. This video is called Instagram Models Are Not Real Models. Agree or disagree? I hear a lot of talk about this type of stuff, so I'm interested to see how this goes. And also, if you guys haven't already, subscribe to my channel, like, comment, and road to 10 subscribers! Help your girl out. Don't forget to subscribe when you leave. And if you like the channel, subscribe. Okay, let's get into this video.
I've seen my abs be photoshopped, and I was okay with it. I use it for inspiration for myself because I'm like, I know my abs did not look like that at that time. So I'm gonna go get in the gym because they could look like that if I did a little bit of work.
Okay. Do all models think the same?
Instagram models are real models. 3, 2,
Interesting.
1, go.
Okay.
If you're posting photos of yourself, you're feeling cute, girl, you are a model, you know?
I definitely think so too.
Okay.
If you're enjoying yourself and promoting yourself naturally and, being who you want to be and making money off it most times, then get your coin, girl. Yeah. Okay.
I think also the idea that something has to be monetized for it to be legitimate is also damaging. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because for a long time in my career, I was self-producing things, right? And then people started reaching out to me, oh, do you want to book this campaign, da-da-da-da.
It starts, yeah.
So,
it starts on an
right.
I definitely respect what you said, but it was funny because it like literally teamed at my standard. So I started in Atlanta when I was going to college doing modeling. And I remember I met this beautiful model and she was like, I didn't consider myself a model until it affected my bank accounts. And literally that became my goal, was like, I would not call myself a model until it affected my bank account. Our Instagram models, fashion models, I would probably be way over there. But our Instagram models, yes, because whether you're modeling on top of cars or you're modeling clothes or you just do hands or you just do shoes.
I mean, give credit where credit's due. Like, a lot of Instagram models are not only modeling, they are styling, they are doing their makeup, they are self-producing, they are shooting. Like, that is a job. The thing that only frustrates me, at least because I'm not industry standards for like being a fashion model, I feel like a lot of people would see me and maybe think I'm an Instagram model. And it's like, no, actually, like, I pay for my entire life with modeling. I feel like people think less of what I do or don't expect that I could be a professional model because of that existence of Instagram models.
I was just thinking of the whole industry and just paying homage and respect to folks that have like gone hard, gone to casting calls, that like have built their portfolio, have gotten rejection from agencies and things like that, versus like someone who's just on Instagram. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but like being on Instagram, posting pretty pictures and then getting a bunch of
think
likes.
it's real models. They
I
be
have
making money.
prompts, which are prompts that are submitted by our audience, assumptions that they make about models. Models secretly judge fat people.
I feel kind of liberated being a plus size model because I'm not expected to be anything I'm not. Does not mean that I haven't had my fair share of extremely fat phobic situations that I've had on set.
All the 2000s, we grew up on tabloids. When a celebrity would gain weight, especially a woman, it'd be like, oh, look at her in a bikini, like, oh, she's gone off the rails. So I do believe probably some models do have these microaggressions, but it's also the system's fault.
Yeah, it's not specific to models.
Yeah.
I think it's everyone, yeah.
Models encourage eating disorders.
No.
I don't think models at all encourage eating disorders.
I wouldn't think so.
What people perceive that models may do in order to stay skinny, but that's on perception, and it's the perception of it that needs to change.
Some of these models do promote going down to a size 0, and these agents or agencies are ex-models. We used to watch Tyra Banks, America's Next Top Model. She was extremely, severely rude to those girls. Like Takara, the biggest girl on there, and she was a size 12. She used to go down her throat.
In the specific reference that you were talking about, I think that this woman was critiquing the models from her experience and what she knew the industry was. She knew for this young girl who has no name, is not signed, you have to fit the clothes or you don't work at the time. I disagree that models encourage eating disorders on other people. I think that models encourage eating disorders within themselves.
Oh, definitely so. I wouldn't say that they are encouraging directly, but I would say as to Naomi Campbell and Tyra Banks, how they were saying, well, if you're not going to fit the clothes, you can't get work. So is that you should be losing weight, or should the clothes be made bigger?
Modeling promotes unhealthy beauty standards. 3, 2, 1, go.
It's half and half. I feel like.
I think the LA industry for modeling is becoming a little more inclusive, but I think in the high fashion sense, awful. It's kind of promoted for most girls to have like an eating disorder or stick to this calorie restraint. So
For me, we are the people, and we as the people are society, and society dictates what the industry does. And I think that's the reason why it's become more inclusive of everybody. So it's important that we don't blame our industries for what they do as much as we hold ourselves accountable for what we accept. So when we spend our dollars with this industry, we're actually voting every single time. So a lot of it was prompted because we weren't seeing equal representation. So people were stopping spending their money, so they had to reorganize and recreate, and now they started being more inclusive. It's us as society that dictates what's going to be promoted. So if it's an unhealthy standard, it's coming from us, not the industries.
I do think that the reality is we are more affected by what we see than we really understand. Like, we internalize a lot of the things that we see. A lot of people my age are trying to get Botox and fillers, and Instagram people or Instagram influencers, excuse me, are getting a lot of artificial work done to their faces to look a certain way. And I think that putting someone that is super young or that has like no wrinkles or that has like no acne in your face every single day, and you see that representation every single day. When you get a flare up, you think it's not normal. When you have a double chin, you think it's not normal. And those things are not the truth.
It's not necessarily the modeling industry. I think we started to see a shift when the Kardashians like exploded, because Paris Hilton size 0, size 2 was like the look, and then here comes Kim, and here comes the family, and big butts, right? And like we went from a system of like stick thin being like the beauty standard to now like hourglass curves, when so many people of other ethnicities have always had this but have been rejected for having these things. And that led us to a whole Facetune, Photoshop era where everybody wants to get a BBL and get breast implants and have like a cinched waist and like big butt and all of these fillers. And like, I don't think it's the modeling industry as a whole that's promoting that look, more so social media and like these influencers and these reality show
all
people
these
that
influencers
are
are getting
like
BBLs.
Botox and filled to like the brim.
To me, I'm like, do what you want. Like, I have no hate for anyone that wants to do what they want with their body. Like, you have that autonomy, you do you. But I think the big problem that we get at, and I feel like it is more problematic, honestly, in the social media space at times, because they're claiming that everything is natural. They're claiming, you know, oh, I just worked out and I got this body. And it's like that.
It's not
those,
true.
What might seem like little white lies to them have impacted our entire generation of these young women, especially. It's important that we realize we have that autonomy too. Like, I've done a photo shoot and been edited to Kingdom Come, and like I never had an ounce of cellulite on my ass, and that's just not the case. And we need more people seeing those normal aspects, like you said, acne, wrinkles. Like, people have that, you know.
Yeah, I totally get what they're saying. They just need to be more realistic with what it is instead of trying to make something that's fake. Because like she said, a lot of people be getting BBLs and then make it seem like, oh, I just worked out and I got this nice waist, but they got a whole BBL.
I am okay with being photoshopped. 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay. But
I completely agree with being photoshopped. While I don't think it's healthy for the public image, I do this for me. I model for myself, you know, and I've seen my abs be photoshopped, and I was okay with it because I was like, it paints a really great picture, you know. I use it for inspiration for myself because I'm like, I know my abs did not look like that at that time, so I'm gonna go get in the gym so I can get my abs to look like that because they could look like that if I did a little bit of work. So on my end, I'm completely fine with it. Again, it's about the client and the story they're trying to tell, and it's this like unattainable kind of guy sometimes.
She's moving
and
over.
It's like, yeah, but I think it's more so, again, it's important that people realize that that's the story that's being portrayed. That's not always reality. So
I was on somewhat disagree because it feels wrong, but last week I had a shoot and I was shooting bikini and I had a zit below my butt. And I was like, so like, guys, can we just like Photoshop this out? Because like, it's enough that my butt's on a website, but my butt with a zit, I don't know. So
I hear that. I mean, like, people like us are probably more likely to be airbrushed significantly more than most people. And I don't want anyone that's going to change my body shape. If it means me being the brave one and kind of being uncomfortable with the way I look in some pictures, whether it be belly rolls or my stretch marks or my cellulite, like, I think that that's a necessary evil, at least for me, in terms of like what I want to see change in this industry and like see that positive impact.
As what you were saying, like a zit or something, and I struggle with dark circles and stuff like that. I want clear skin, and that's the image I want for myself. So I would be completely fine if someone touches up my dark circles or, you know, makes my legs longer in like a fisheye bubble lens or something, you know, in that sort. But to take away from my stretch marks, to take away from, you know, my stomach, I don't want to perceive something that's not me, because that's not my brand.
When you're on camera, like how you may look to yourself or like on in the mirror doesn't always translate on camera. And then it's like, wait, my pores are that big, or like my eyes look that sunken, or.
and she's right on that. With the lenses getting better in the industry, it's portraying us even harsher because they'll pick up like wrinkles you didn't even personally see on your face. And so, yeah, a little touch up, kind of cool with that.
I have insecurities about my body. 3,
It's a deep question.
2, 1, go.
Wow. They all basically kind of.
I've done a lot of work on myself. Like I used to hate myself, and I've done that work to like come on the other side and recognize that I'm beautiful. But I think the only reason I say somewhat agree is that it's impossible to be in this industry and not be hyper aware of the things that are, you know, that you should change or maybe should alter, or like, oh, this girl's working more than I do.
True.
What is, you know, like what's better about her body than mine? And like, and that's just in my pure moments of weakness, and not weakness, but in my pure human moments.
Let's say in the real world, like if I'm walking down the street as a pedestrian, right? Like my body is like, whatever. But like in our industry and what we do, we think, well, will I book a job if I have this extra like 5 pounds on me? You know what I mean? Or like, would I book a job if I was a little bit taller? So I think that like body image issues that I already had were kind of magnified when I stepped into this.
So I'm like in a great place. So I actually probably should be on like somewhat disagree. Again, my only holdback was like, I'm from the South. I like everything a little bit thicker. So including myself, that is always a self-conscious part. I would love to put on some extra muscle one day, which I just know it comes, but I do sacrifice it for being in the industry at this time. But I completely accept it. I still think it looks good. It's not my ideal self, but it is still a self that I am happy with. So
I think I'm still going through fully accepting myself. I still think about my body and myself every day, but I'm in a good place. I'm definitely better than what I used to be and more accepting. Like, you know what, I am big, I am curved, and I look good. You know, I have the curve. Look good. I have the curves, I have like the je ne sais quoi, you know, like I have everything that anybody else has, and for you to be confident as well, and when you know it, that confident like oozes out, and you can feel that when someone's energy as well. So.
Yeah. Facts.
And that is officially a wrap.
Okay. You know what? This is actually nice to watch this, because to see people's like opinions and stuff, because for myself, I've been actually sometimes too trying to like battle with like my body, because obviously I gained some weight over the years, and more I'm just learning to just love who I am and just accept it. So it's just nice to see how, you know, there's other people too on that same journey, and Yeah, man, like shit, anybody can do whatever they want to do, you know what I'm saying? Shit, maybe I should become an Instagram model. But further ado, I hope you guys like this video. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.